Okay, I'm going to show you how you can add dialogue to your story. So dialogue is when characters are talking in the story. You show this by putting the words that are spoken in quotation marks. And here are what quotation marks look like. They look like two little lines on top on the left and two little lines on top on the right. So if I were to write a sentence such as, I hope we can go to the park today, Johnny said. And I want to put quotation marks around the part where Johnny spoke, right? Where did the character Johnny speak? This is the part he said, I hope we can go to the park today. He didn't say, Johnny said. Those words didn't come out of his mouth. He didn't say Johnny said, right? That's just telling us that this is what he said. So the quotation marks go at the beginning of his words that he actually spoke, and they go at the end of the words that he actually spoke. You do not put Johnny said in quotation marks because he didn't say this. This is what he said. Okay? So that is an example of how you put quotation marks. You want to put it around the words that a character speaks. Now, how do you add dialogue to your writing? So, and why do you do it? Dialogue is important because it can make your story more rich, okay? It can tell the reader, how your character might be feeling. Instead of writing, he was feeling sad. You can show that he was feeling sad by what the character says or thinks. So let's take an example. Here's a story, and we're going to read it, and then we're going to think about what we think of this story. So this is story one. I was walking through the grocery store one day with my mom. She saw a cart coming straight toward me, but I didn't see it. I ran right into the cart and landed in a heap on the floor. It was such a disaster. Now, there's no dialogue in this story. The narrator, the person telling the story, is telling the story, but their characters in the story are not talking, right? There's no quotation marks. No one is saying anything in the story. So let's see what this story would look like if we added dialogue. Now here's the story with dialogue added, story 2. I was walking through the grocery store one day with my mom. All of a sudden, she yelled out, "Watch out for that cart!" I was starting to turn around to see what she was talking about, but the cart was coming too quickly. I yelled out, "Oh no, stop!" as the car came crashing into me. As I landed in a heap on the floor, I screamed, "Ouch! Watch out next time." It was such a disaster. Now I'm going to highlight all the places where there is now dialogue. Okay, so the part where the cart is going to be coming at this character, the mom said yells, and she doesn't say, she yells. That tells me, this word here tells me how the mom is feeling, right? If she's yelling, she's probably saying this like because she has to say it fast and she wants the person to hear. So she's like, "Watch out for that cart." That tells you, this word yells tells you how the mom's feeling. And when we hear what she actually says, it makes it with the exclamation point, it makes the reader really understand, oh my goodness, it's coming right at this person. It makes it more exciting. Let's find another spot where there is dialogue in this story. So I was starting to turn around to see what she was talking about, but the cart was coming too quickly. I yelled out. Here's the word yelled again. Yelled tells me that both characters, the mom and I'm going to say the son or daughter, is like kind of like afraid maybe because the cart is coming right at the son or daughter, right? So it says, I yelled, oh no, stop. So again, this can show the reader how the character's feeling. How do you think the character is feeling, the one who's getting the cart coming right at them? Probably a little bit scared because they're shouting, oh no, with an exclamation point, stop. And that happens as the car came crashing into me. Okay? And this should say cart. As I landed in a heap on the floor, I screamed. So screamed tells you again how the character is feeling. If it just said if the narrator just said I said ouch, watch out next time, that wouldn't really convey, it wouldn't really show the reader how the narrator is feeling. The word screamed really shows you that this person was probably in what they screamed was ouch. Probably shows that this person was really in pain, right? And that it was like, like a significant thing that happened. So there's two things that we've kind of pointed out. One is adding dialogue can make your story more interesting. It can be a way to show your reader how your characters are feeling or how the characters are feeling in the story. And also, no, the second thing is you want to use strong verbs. Okay, so strong verbs that are not just like, first, second grade verbs. We're in third grade now. We want to use some strong verbs. So for example, yelled is better than just said because yelled tells me how this person's feeling. Screamed is better than said because it tells me again how this character is feeling. So it's really important to add dialogue to your story so that your story becomes more interesting and it just adds more to your story. And don't forget, when you're adding dialogue, you want to make sure that you use quotation marks at the beginning of the sentence or sentences and then at the end. So it's almost like it's like bookends, right? There's one at the beginning, one at the end, and it's kind of saying everything in between is what the character is actually saying.